Hello, it's John Lord here on mid-August. We've had a nice bit of dry weather. In fact, I've had to water a few bits in the garden. I'm not a great believer in watering the garden regularly, because you should have plants in it that you should put the plants in that you don't need to water the whole time. But this is exceptional. We had to water a few groups of hydrangeas and some astilbes. But maybe we spent half a day watering. Maybe that'll be enough. Maybe it'll start raining next week. Now, we've got an issue here. That was that's self-sown seedling, and it came over. We took one out in the video last time there, and this has to come out. And that was put in as an experiment, that hydrangea, just to see how it would react in this. And it's not reacting well. It doesn't really like it here. So that's going to come out. And what are we going to replace it with? It's very sunny here. A few options. This is very good. This is Kniphofia caulescens, and it's a very good Kniphofia for its foliage. Most Kniphofias haven't brilliant foliage, but this does. And then the flower, it's a beautiful flower laid on. That's a bonus, and that might work well. And all we have to do is basically, that's it. Just plant them like that. So we remove that, take those Kniphofias and just plant them here. So we will have a bit of silver, full sun. The other option is to plant Perovskia. So that's our choice, Perovskia or Kniphofia. I don't know, we'll see. And we're still, time of the year, still cutting back, still trying to extend the season. You see these here, the lambs there, we can probably remove the spent flowering stalks. It's nice fresh growth at the base, and it's actually some new ones there trying to come out, and there's a nice fresh one there. So not too long. And as I say, this is the kind of recreational gardening. This is the gardening you always see them doing when you're watching The Detective and the old English village, and they're gardening, recreational gardening. Well, you can see what the situation is. Every now and again, stand back and say, maybe that one, take that one out. A few more minutes. No, maybe that one. That's not right. It's looking better. Definitely an improvement. It's a very old, really old garden plant. It's been going forever and ever. Well predates garden centres, because someone has it in their garden, they break up a few bits, they give it to next door, and so on and so on. That's it. Always try and hide the cut stalks. Always go into the body of the plant. You want to make it look as if you've done nothing. There was a few old bits from this geranium. Remove them. Yeah, that's always, look, when you remove a bad stuff, you always remove a bit of good stuff as well. Oh, look, missed a few. And that's showing off that lovely Euphorbia a bit better. And here's the Angel's fishing rods. Now we'll have a look around here. Great combination, flat and the spire and the spike, and the two different colours. A little bit of, I'll show it further on. If you look at this Veronicastrum, you can see there's actually new growth here, base. You cut the old ones off. You can see the new ones in there. That's another lovely recreational job. Oh, that's gone mildewy. That's the problem with the Knautia, is to go very mildewy after when but they're lovely earlier on. But just be ruthless. They're all self-sown. And the thing about Knautia is you just be ruthless. If they're in the wrong place, just take up. And there's a self-sown. As it happens, there's a self-sown Veronicastrum. You've never planted so close, but do the same here. And look at the Molinia, which was also self-sown coming up. Molinia grass, very elegant. Self-sown Molinia there, tall one. Diana said it looks a bit messy here, so I decided the other areas weren't great, and that salvia wasn't great. So we're going to take that salvia out and put these two in. This is just a very easy Persicaria red dragon or something. You put and they match very well, or they contrast very well with the my favourite Kniphofia, and with this, my favourite Rudbeckia. And before we do it, we will probably the best general purpose Campanula is lactiflora, and once again be ruthless with lactiflora. Can you see all the new flowers are going to come out? But just be ruthless, take all the old stuff out, and it takes the weight off. It doesn't hang as much. Oh, maybe I won't do it now, but 10 minutes work. I say that all the time, it's always 10 minutes work. Better already. And there's a few in further. And then this Cotinus Grace is kind of great plant, but a bit of a bully. Ones that are coming out too far, just nip them back. It is such a strong grower. And someone said, "Yeah, so are they too? Is that too similar to?" Oh, at some stage you have to decide. So anyway, they're going to go in here later on. Now we're going back around here to look at a weed problem. Oh, look. Little bit of hand weeding with a pair of gloves, preferably. That's a different sea holly, an Eryngium, and you get nice fresh foliage, but needs just tidied up. And that's a tug. Rodgersia, I think it's podophylla. It's the one with the pointed leaves. Takes over, but it's lovely, but you have to watch it. Planted these Perovskias here, I thought, because it's very dry with that pine tree, it would be okay, but I always keep forgetting the Rudbeckia grows up so tall you can't see them, so they have to come out. And I'll probably put another one of these in. Oh, look at that. It's not even, hasn't made any progress. That's a Stipa gigantea. Nearly came out of the ground. It's not really that happy here, but sometimes a plant like that, you just leave it and see what happens. Maybe next year it'll improve, get its roots in, or maybe it's not suitable for it, I don't know, so we just have to play. But anyway, this wasn't the reason. Like when I was here yesterday, I started doing taking a little bit of weeding, a little Cotinus, and then I noticed this, and the of course the obligatory willow herb, and then I saw this. Willow herb is epilobium, and this used to be called epilobium. It's known as fireweed, but they changed the name, and this is different. A different class of weed, because unlike the normal willow herb, when this gets going, it sends roots out, shoots out under the ground, and comes up and it forms a big, really difficult to eradicate group. Really hard to eradicate, and I've seen it destroy gardens. Now it is beautiful on roadside verges, at the edge of woodlands. Absolutely beautiful, lovely. This height, lovely pink flowers. But it's zero tolerance in the garden. So that's why I'm digging it out properly. Can we see? Has it started yet to move? You see? Yeah, I think we got it. We know it's there, so we can keep an eye. But don't be tempted. It is beautiful, and there's a white flowered form, which is lovely as well. And they say it's not as bad. No, don't get that one either. There's enough ordinary decent weeds to have to deal with. Here, I don't know whether did I mention this? The rabbits completely destroyed what we had in 2 weeks ago. Kind of see them, so we just replaced these. We had to replace them yesterday. We just put in something. It's going to be here forever. It's Geranium Ann Folkard. That will form a massive big clump, but it wasn't what we had in originally. Now we did a sort of a rough job here. We sort of got rid of all the dead petals and flowers, but by right we should go and do all this, cut it back properly, but we're not going to. We're going to leave it. But you notice this here on the ground? Rake this away. Now I wanted to mention about rakes. This is a normal rake. Ordinary, it's a great rake actually, Spear and Jackson. So, two basic types of rakes. Ordinary hard rake, and you have your wire rake or springbok rakes. And that one, you always put it this way. That one, only go this way with it. Can't go that way. Purely designed for taking light material. It's a leaf rake, so it has much more limited use. So, much more limited use because, oh, look at that. Taking up the boundary wood. I think that needs to be changed. Now it has to, see that two screws, that goes into the barrow rather than into a customer's foot. No one saw that. There's the old tricks of the trade. I remember years ago I worked in a nursery for a while in Dublin, and there's a real rough lad there, and he'd breaking branches and he'd cut them and he'd get muck and put muck on the branch so you wouldn't know it was a new cut. And when I went to Germany with the Germans, did everything right. Germans are the very same, putting the muck on the branches, so we all do it. But the advantage of this rake is that you go both ways. And a lot of people, when they're raking gravel, when they have gravel in the garden, they're always bringing in fresh gravel. If you bring in fresh gravel, you're bringing up the layer all the time. A lot of the time, all it needs a good rake. And you ever see the golf matches when they're when they're on the green, when they're about to take a shot, they always hunker down to see the lie of the land. And if you're raking gravel or raking a new bed, you always look and see where the high area is, pull it into the low area, put stuff in. So you're always looking to get it right. And it's not so much you get it flat, but you want to get a very nice gradation. So that's that. Next job. Oh yes. That's Limelight. One of the older paniculate hydrangeas, paniculata Limelight. Just has one go, and it fades very nicely. So we'll get another month out of it, maybe 3 weeks, month. Probably could cut it back next spring, probably, but I'll probably chicken out again, or I won't do it. But the reason I bear that in mind, because I want to look at another paniculate hydrangea out here, show the difference. Just one other thing on the way to that, why you kind of have to have gloves. We're having issues with bramble. Now, once you know the bramble is there, you can do there's two things you can do. You can do you can just do a cut here, and you know it's there, and in the winter time when you have more time, you can go right into the base of the hedge. No, we just so that will come right back. So you have to watch brambles, because they will take over, and you need proper gloves with brambles. Not these. Oh, this is another Veronicastrum. That was Chelsea chopped, and I have never in my life seen so many bees on a plant. So many, it's just amazing. And we have the honeybee and the various species of bumblebee, and the odd butterfly. You can nearly hear them. I feel we couldn't monetize it some way, David. Figure out some way of charging them. I don't know, a drop of honey per day or something. You know, like, not just for nothing now in these troubled times. Getting on this for free. And there's we even had the odd blue bottle sneaking in. No, we don't need you to pollinate. No. This is another paniculate hydrangea. It's called Early Sensation, and what's good about it is it tends to kind of flowers a bit early, definitely earlier, but then it sends out new flowers, and that's what they look like when they're new, and that's what they look like when they fade. They go pink. So I found it to be really good. The name's a bit off-putting. It's kind of a name thought up by someone in the sales department. I don't know, you could have a nicer name. Look how good it is. Mid-August and new flowers coming out. And all flowers. So you get a very long time out of that. So I highly recommend that. Oh yes. Work. You have to work. You did a job in the day, Lilies. Cut all the old flower stalks down to the ground. And when they're finished in about a week, we'll cut the lot down. And also what we'll do is we'll spend a few minutes just going through and taking just very obvious, it's just to make it look a bit better at the end of the season. Just 5 minutes, taking all the brown bits out, and then you just have nice foliage. And secondly, the Veronicastrum, that's Fascination. We did that yesterday. We removed the spent flower spikes down to this level. New ones are coming, and we left a few just to show. And this one, you know it because it's called fascination. Maybe it's a pun on fasciation because it has these flat ones. Doesn't seem to do the plant any harm. And as I said earlier on, you always try to make it look as if you haven't done anything. Oh, missed. So we have the day lilies for another day, maybe another 2 days. But that's really it. There was some other stuff. Oh yeah, we'll finish off with. Yes, we finish off here. Mentioning if you want something really statement in the garden, the very large leaf hydrangeas, Hydrangea aspera. That one is called Bellevue, I think. That's really good. And here's an American hydrangea, quercifolia. But the double flower, the problem with the double flowered ones are they fall over, and you really want them to stay. Look, it's beautiful, but I kind of would prefer if it didn't fall. I'll just finish off here. Other aspera. This one is, I think, hot chocolate. I think it's hot chocolate. Look, isn't that absolutely beautiful? Quite by accident, we have in the background the much brighter Cuba japonica, which is actually a beautiful shrub, but it must be in the shade. Do not have that shrub in the sun. It's useless. The leaves are smaller to get black marks. It has to be in deep shade. It can be dry shade. Yeah, it needs dry shade. And here's something else to know. If it's an evergreen plant, by and large, evergreen plants, evergreen shrubs do not like wet conditions. There's virtually no evergreen plant that likes wet conditions. I don't know why, but that's just a rule of thumb. Okay, that's us finished. Let's get hot chocolate now for lunch.